Alrighty, test, check, mic check, test 1, test 2, test 3, sibilance. Ah, yes, looks good, sounds good. Alrighty. Hello, once again, everybody, how are you doing? Good to be with you. So, back at it with Suzerain. I had no idea that this game was going to capture my attention the way it did, but it's like the further I get into it, the more intrigued I become. So also, I'm having a lot of fun doing a lot of silly voice work. I don't pretend to be a professional voice actor or anything like that, but it is always fun to me to do these voices, to do these fun little things, to entertain. At the end of the day, that's my favorite part about this hobby of mine. Next to documenting the weird, crazy things that happen when I'm playing video games, but doing voices and entertaining people, I love that too. So, let's not spend too much time here. Let's not stand on ceremony, Mr. Wade. Last chapter, we left off, we were choosing not to escape through either helicopter or secret back entrance or something like that, but rather go out and meet the people, because there's apparently a big protest or something going on. So we are about to find out what happens here. Once again, this is Suzerain. I put it in the title of the video as well. If you are enjoying this and think that this would be a kind of game that you might like to play, then I would recommend it. I'm having a lot of fun with it. Support the developer, support the team. Apparently there's a DLC coming out here in March 25th, I believe it is. So I may do that one too. I may do that one, depending on, different factors. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it. Not much else I can say except for disclaimer. I am having a lot of fun with the game and I will continue to recommend it, but as with any other game I play, I am merely a hobbyist. So I am not, full disclaimer, I am not being paid by any corporation or any development team or whatever to promote games. I just play the shit that I think is fun. And I hope that's enough. I hope that is enough of a seal of approval for you to give this game and other games that I've played a chance. Because if I'm enjoying them, I like to think that I try and show the games to be as fun on their merits, rather than trying to either hype something that I don't believe in, or trying to be overly harsh to something that, it's gonna get me views, clicks, and money if I take a shit on it. So that being said, please check out the team, check out their Steam page, follow them on Twitter, and let's get this thing going. Tonight, again, is not going to be a long stream. I have to get up and meet someone tomorrow. Got a lot of business to take care of. As yet, we are still not getting paid to play video games yet. Someday, the dream, right? But as I stated before, the idea that I have is not necessarily just to do video game streaming. I would like to do a lot of different content creation type of stuff, if you've been following me long enough, I've done Photoshops. I screw around with 3D graphics. I have a bit of a background in music. Bit of a polymath. Although, when I say it like that, it makes it sound like I'm thinking too highly of myself. Maybe jack of all trades is more of a honest term. Jack of many trades, master of none. But enough about me. Into the game. So, when last we left, we were in Narble, and we were choosing to engage with the people. We are on our way out of Narble. Let's see what happens. Leave Gassam facility in Narble. A volatile situation has emerged outside the Gassam facility, with a sizable crowd of protesters amassing. Their grievances, fueled by underlying tensions, present a complex scenario for us to navigate. The decisions on our course of action could dramatically influence the outcome of this situation. Oh, this was the choice last time. Wait, didn't we make the choice to go down and talk to the people, though? So this would be like going back on the choice we'd made, like cowering out, essentially. Because I swear at the end of the last stream we had said we were going to go down and talk to the people. That was the choice we selected. This would be like cowering out of it. I don't see why you would want to do that. That's like... it's, if you'll forgive the phrasing, a little bit of a bitch move there. Let's address the protesters and leave via car. That was the decision we made last time. As we stepped out of the towering front gate of the Gassam facility, I immediately became aware of how tense the situation was. Gus Manger stood by my right, his silhouette barely distinguishable from the monolithic edifice behind us. Sergei stood to my left, his eyes scanning the crowd with the precision of a hawk. The Gassam security had drawn their weapons in anticipation, forming a bristling wall around the perimeter. My presidential guard, in stark contrast, stood tall and unflinching at the entrance, shielding us from the sea of angry workers surrounding us. The shouts of the crowd were deafening, the hostility palpable. Stoller and Horton stood at the forefront with fire in their eyes. With a deep breath, I prepared to address them. Gus extended a megaphone towards me. Today, my team and I are here to listen and engage. We are here to ensure Gassam becomes a beacon of growth, fairness, and prosperity for all its workers. My fellow swords, our presence today is not a guarantee of instant change, but rather an effort to better understand the complexity of the issues at hand. Good people of Narble, we are here not to placate you with false promises, but to honestly assess the reality and work towards practical solutions. Before any of you do anything too rash, I want you to take a good look around you. Ooh. That's a heckin' interesting choice we got here. Given the ire of the crowd, it's going to be interesting to try and quell them. Got to be too careful of coming off as canned, which would be basically saying the same old. We're here to listen. We're here to fix things. Probably piss people off. We don't want to overextend and promise too much. Oh, we're going to do X, Y, Z, or the other. So it's like, We got to try and find a good middle ground. So number 2 is basically not promising too much, but saying that we're working to better understand the complexity of the issues. I here to promise you, placate with false promises, honestly assess reality, and work towards practical solutions. That last line comes off as a bit threatening. I don't like that line. I think we're going to avoid using that line. Good people in our, but we are not here to placate you with false promises, but to honestly assess the reality and work towards practical solutions. So we're trying to figure it out. We're trying to work towards practical solutions, and we're not going to lie to you. We're here to listen and engage. Kind of leaning towards 3. Today, my team and I are here to listen and engage. We're here to ensure Gaston becomes a beacon of growth, fairness, and prosperity for all its work. Well, Sword's presence today is not a guarantee of instant change, but rather an effort. Good people in Arbor, we are here not to placate you with false promises, but to honestly assess the reality and work towards practical solutions. I think that's probably the best. That's the one I'd go with. Good people of Narble, we are here not to placate you with false promises, but to honestly assess the reality and work towards practical solutions. Let's turn this impasse into an opportunity, a chance for real impactful change. We are here to make that happen. We recognize that words are not enough, and only through concrete action can we begin to address the challenges you face. Today's visit, let's be clear, does not mean all your problems will disappear overnight. It's an initial step to gauge the scope of the issues. So 3 is, it's not going to happen overnight. We're taking a step to figure it out. We recognize words are not enough, and we're going to have to do concrete action, which kind of is committing to doing something. Turn the impasse into an opportunity, chance for real impactful change. We're here to make that happen. So these top 2 are kind of committing to something. The last one's kind of like non-committal. I mean, given the fact that that one says, doesn't lie and say things are going to change overnight, because honestly, I think this is a problem with the world as it is. Everyone thinks you're going to vote for somebody. Somebody's going to get in office. A judge is going to get put into a place, blah, 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 and all your problems are going to go away. And it's like, that is not the reality of things. Some of it is on the people that you put into the positions of power, the people you vote for, the people they put into the institutions. Sometimes it's you. And people don't quite realize that. So I like all these choices, actually. Let's turn this impasse into an opportunity. A chance for real, impactful change. We are here to make that happen. Things would change if you brapped on stream. Hello. We recognize that words are not enough, and that only through concrete action can we begin to address the challenges you face. I mean, all of it's kind of hard to read what all of these are supposed to mean, or if these are just kind of just dialogue choices. I'm gonna go with what I normally would go with. Today's visit does not mean all your problems will disappear overnight, because they won't. It's an initial step to gauge the scope of the issues. We'll go with 3.
Today's visit, let's stay clear, does not mean all problems will disappear overnight. It's an initial step to gauge the scope of the issues.
Empty words, Rain. You've shown us nothing concrete today. We're fed up with your hollow rhetoric. All talk, no action. Isn't it, Mr. President? How long must the workers wait for real change? Now hold on a moment. President Rain is committed to bringing about real change. His actions and decisions demonstrate this clearly, even if that doesn't fit your narrative. Is that so, Manga? All we've seen here are a few decisions that favor the likes of you and Elwood Alfonso, not the common workers. It is not about narratives, Mr. Manga. It is about ensuring a fair, dignified life for the working class, something your policies have consistently failed to do. Oh God, fucking commie revolutionaries. Change is often slow and gradual. Not all solutions are as immediate and straightforward as you make them out to be. Dennis, the focus here is not on narratives, images, but on real, tangible changes. It's a process, and we are on the right track. I understand your skepticism, Dennis, but I assure you my administration is devoted to bringing about better conditions for our workers. You're an academic and a lawyer, Mr. Stoller. What do you really know about the struggles of the working class? Oh, damn. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. What's his history? If he came up from a mid to a fucking high class family, that would be a hell of a call out. Theorist politician served as the Communist Party, originally starting politics in the Communist Party, the same name. Stoller became an exponent of communist ideas during his studies at the University of Haarlem in Volksland. After earning his doctorate in political economy, he moved to Holsword in 1927. Oriel Dobin, a lawyer's office. He joined the Communist Party and faced prosecution under General Lutheran after ban on the Communist Party in 1920. In complete annihilation of the sort of socialists by the junta, he moved to Volksland and assisted the Red Youth by establishing connections between the Sordish and the Volksland Socialists with the help of the governing People's Party of Volksland. After the Civil War, he worked as a lawyer in Holswerd, often defending other left-wing socialists. He was involved with smuggling, malicious propaganda, from United Cortana to Swordland, as well as writing and publishing his own socialist magazine, Tussle. He wrote extensively against militarism, authoritarianism because of his political theories on communism and physical resemblance to Emmerich Hegel. He was given the nickname Swordist Hegel by his admirers. Despite being regarded as Malinivist in Swordland, he wrote articles containing some started ideals of Marxian socioeconomics. He also heavily protested against the United Coordinated Presidents, Eastern Marcopa. He joined the PFJP as a Social Democrat in 1936 with hopes to enter the Grand National Assembly of Swordland, but he was denied top positions in the candidate lists due to his communist views and couldn't get elected. In 1950, Stoller co-founded the CPS with a group of other socialist politicians and political theorists. He wrote a manifesto titled Sword Socialism, which caused a split within the party and followers of the sword. He invented the famous poet Bernard. This guy kind of striking me as a bit of a less failure Marx type. So there's nothing about him growing up as a poor person. Man, I'm leaning so hard to number 4. Yet we want to do things the diplomatic way. And even if we detest communists, and we do, in this house we fucking hate communists. But even if we do, we still gotta work with all the people we have available. The last thing I think we want to do is to agitate. They're agitating, but let's hope we can swing that to our advantage. I'm kind of leaning towards 2 from the remaining choices. Like, the first and the third kind of feel like it's like, yeah, it's going to take a minute. And the third is like, yeah, it's going to take a minute. And the second is like, it's not about narrative or images, but on real, tangible changes. It's a process, and we are on the right track. Yeah. I think I'm going to go with that one. Dennis, the focus here is not on narratives or images, but on real, tangible changes. It's a process, and we are on the right track. Words, 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 and more words. President Rain, what the workers need are actions, not promises. Exactly, Dennis. The working class of Swordland is still waiting for those actions. Wasn't it your government that bailed out the elites while workers were left to suffer? Where was our bailout, Mr. President? Let's not forget your conspicuous absence at Bernard Circus's funeral. Your silence spoke volumes. Do you endorse the killing of those who stand up for workers' rights? And what about the recent campaign finance bill, Mr. President? It's a direct attack on democracy, effectively silencing smaller parties like ours. Your neglect of our nation's healthcare system will harm millions. Mr. President, we demand that you support the upcoming worker rights bill. The labor force of Swordland will be watching your next move closely. Furthermore, we want reform. Reduce the election threshold and change the Constitution to make a more democratic and fairer nation. But I'm sorry, but I don't like funding communism. Let the communists fund communism. They will anyway. The people of Swordland have elected me to lead. I believe it's crucial to trust the government's judgment in these times of crisis. The business bailout was a necessary step to protect the livelihood of millions of swords. It was not a decision made lightly. My absence at Bernard Circus's funeral was not an endorsement of his murder. It was a time of mourning and political statements were uncalled for. The campaign finance bill ensures fair funding for democratically elected parties. It's not an attack on democracy, but a measure to safeguard it. I understand the concerns and frustrations many of you have. Rest assured, we are here. We are listening. And we are committed to addressing these issues. We must recognize that our country can't solve all its problems at once. We are working hard and making progress, but our troubles won't simply vanish. How dare you speak that way to your president? You ingrates have no idea how much I have sacrificed for this country. Okay, that last one is biting on bait, which is what I'm pretty sure these two are trying to do right now. That's the realistic answer, actually. That naturally would be the type of answer I'd give. We can't solve all our fucking problems at once. We're working hard and making progress, but shit ain't just gonna go away. We can't just snap our fingers and all of a sudden we're in the utopia. That's not how life works. But we need to be a little more political than that. They're here listening. We've committed to addressing these issues. Campaign finance bill ensures fair funding. It's not an attack. Let's go with the murder. Let's address that first and foremost. My absence at Bernard Circus's funeral was not an endorsement of his murder. It was a time of mourning. Then political statements were uncalled for. Quiet murmurs of discontent began to ripple through the crowd. The workers' faces seemed to turn even stonier. I could feel the tension growing. The presence of our guards did little to reassure me. Suddenly, a reporter pushed through the crowd, brandishing a microphone towards me. The locals of Narble have suffered under the impact of Gassam for years. What concrete steps is Gassam going to take for the benefit of the local community? They're going to dedicate a bunch of money to charities. It's just 3 different ways of saying the same thing. I am pleased to announce that Gassam will play a crucial role in the recovery of Narble. I have pledged significant contribution to local charities. I have exciting news. Gassam has promised a substantial contribution to local charities that will play a central role in the recovery efforts for Narble. Gassam's dedication to Narble's recovery has been cemented with the promise of a large contribution to local charities. I'm pleased to announce that Gassam will play a crucial role in the recovery of Narble. They have pledged a significant contribution to local charities. Number 4. See, Mr. Stoller and Miss Horton, I'm on your side. You can stop whining now. Damn. Yeah, but doing that isn't going to put you on their side. Not with how communism has historically behaved. They don't have a side. With this contribution, Gassam is stepping up to play an essential part in the recovery and development of Narble. could hear the crowd growing restless. They once again broke into discontented murmurs, punctuated by the occasional shout. Charitable contributions, Mr. President? Is that all Gotham can offer? Well, the effort is appreciated. These gestures do little to address the structural inequalities faced by the workers. We need systemic change, not charity. I hate that fucking word. Systemic. What we need, Mr. President, is not a one-time act of charity, but a sustained commitment to improving the living conditions and wage disparity. Gotham's charity must not be used as a smokescreen to cover their ongoing exploitation. A group of figures emerged from the crowd, adorned in unmistakable scarlet attire. The Red Youth had arrived. I realized this was no longer a mere protest. It was a symbol of a broader, more potent struggle. The police began reorganizing their ranks, adopting defensive postures. Could you shed some light on the possible deal between the Swordfish government and Gotham? What role does the Kingdom of Rizia play in this arrangement? Honestly, I don't want to give an answer. Because the media is not our friend. The media is not our friend either in this game or in reality. So, like, I don't want to tell them anything I don't have to. The crowd is pissed off already. This runs the risk of pissing them off even more, but on the other hand, if I was to leak something that they shouldn't fucking know about, that could allow outside parties to maneuver and know exactly what's going on. Confidential. Unless, let me see. True international cooperation, Swordland and Rizia will jointly invest. Sharing costs and stakes. Let's go with 3. Fuck it. We'll do it live. Swordland is renewing its ties with the Kingdom of Rizia. Together, we will provide the funding that Gotham and its workers need. A partnership with Rizia? You are aware of the monarchy's history of stamping out disagreements with brute force? We will be watching this co-investment closely. Your government will be responsible for keeping its partners' worst tendencies in checks. Close by, I noticed a terse exchange between a security officer from Gotham and a member of the Presidential Guard. Sergei craned his neck, his face deep in concentration as he listened to their whispers. Mr. President, the situation is growing increasingly hostile, and I recommend that we expedite your departure. We must prioritize your safety. Are you sure? Won't running away from this only make the protesters angrier? Sergey's right, Mr. President. The crowd won't get any calmer if you stuck around. Got to get to safety. Leaving so soon, Rain? I guess you know when you've been defeated. You can't even face your own people, can you, Mr. President? We expected better. Damn. No further comments. It's tempting. You speak of double standards and yet fail to understand the complexities of governance. It's easy to criticize from the sidelines, but real change requires pragmatism, not idealism. You claim to advocate for the workers, yet undermine our efforts to better their condition. Shouldn't you be supporting the initiatives we fought for instead of spreading discontent? The utopia you dream of won't materialize by mere rhetoric or by attacking those striving for change. It requires understanding the political and economic landscape and making informed decisions. God, I so want to pull the trigger on number 3. I so want to pull the trigger on number 3. One final question. What is your true personal relationship with you? Out of nowhere, a man lunged towards me from the crowd. Before I could react, Sergey sprang in front of me. He swiftly tackled the man to the ground and pinned his hand behind his back. What game is this? It's in the title. Hello, Sacred. This is Suzerain. Suzerain? Suzerain? I don't know how to pronounce the title. This is essentially a political-based adventure game, or VN, as us weebs know them. Also, welcome. Hello, Sacred. How goes it? Also, I haven't promoted Maxim. I should promote Maxim. Maxim is old school and tunes in from time to time. So let's damn it, the stupid emoji is getting in the way. All right. There we go. Maxim is now moderator. Why aren't historical figures cute anime girls? I demand an explanation. God damn it, Sergey! Get his ass, Sergey! Get his ass! World star! Let's get out of here. Everyone calm down. Freeze and panic. Never freeze. Never freeze. I do? What do I do? What do I do? I'm not gonna freeze. I don't want to freeze. Tell everyone to calm down. Run away. Tell Surge to beat his ass. They're looking for a political moment, though. I'm leaning towards number 3. Everyone calm the fuck down. Alright, we'll go with number 3. Everyone! Calm down! Sergei left my dazed attacker on the ground and turned to the guards with a look of authority I'd never seen before. Protect the president! His voice carried over to the screams of the crowd. The guards tightened their circle around me, hurriedly pushing me towards the safety of the convoy. Oh shit! Damn, Sergei! Sergei! The man is, he's our bodyguard, isn't he? He's like our top bodyguard. In a world of Squid and Sergei, be a Sergei. Everyone, calm down! Police and security forces rushed into the melee, swinging batons with indiscriminate ferocity. The red youth rushed them head on. Into the car, Mr. President! We are leaving now! Katerina and Dennis raised their hands in a plea for calm, their words nearly lost amidst the turmoil. Stop the cops! This isn't going to help! Back off! You're only making things worse! The staff and I were swiftly escorted into the convoy. The protesters and police scattered as our vehicles plowed through the crowd. Their screams receded into the background as we left this chaotic scene behind. Holy shit, Sergei! Sergei the man! The man! Sergei best boy? I think so. Where's the next part? I kind of want to see what the fallout is. Alright, here we go. Hall sword. Also, yes, in a world of Sergei and Squid, be Sergei. Yes. Read the report. Kesaro Kibener, leader of the NFP, has announced today that the NFP is completely against any threshold reform. He specifically emphasized that this would lead to unwanted elements entering the assembly, and that he outright is against any changes to the 10% threshold. Friend Richter, leader of the PFJP, recently outlined their demands for the reform package. He declared that without the implementations of term limits and limited decrees, it would be very difficult for him and his party to stand behind the reform package. Many members of the USP, led by Albin Clavin and the reformist wing of the party, clarified their demands for the government in the party Congress. For the upcoming constitutional reform, Albin Clavin stated that without ministerial reforms, they won't be able to stand behind the new reform package. What's going on even? So I haven't seen you in any of the Suzerain streams. So basically, think of us as a Eastern European country. What would be a good analog? So, post World War II, say post 50s country coming out of either communist or nationalists bullshit, trying to reform and create a more whatever government, and that's basically where we've been going. So it's up to you what kind of government you're trying. I am trying to create a reformist government here, which means that I'm trying to lead us out of nationalism and isolationism and into a more republic sort of world. Oh, it's like a country management-ish game. It's like if you took all of the map autism out of something like Hearts of Iron, but hyper exaggerated like the choice elements. So choosing on, which programs to support or which political parties or countries to either ally with or ally against, what to do, how to develop your country. That's how it kind of feels to me. Now, again, I'm not an expert on Hearts of Iron and any of those sorts of games. I have played, a lot of Total War type games. That's my main experience. I think I played like a total of like 10 to 15 minutes of Hearts of Iron. But yeah, as I see it, that's kind of what it is. Like, it's more emphasis on the choices and the interactions between the factions and the people and the countries, and less about watching, two guys on a map stand next to each other doing the marching animation while the little ant line goes back and forth. Okay, kind of looks like Conflict Nations, the map style. I was reading Chaos Head Noah the past week. I get it. I've watched Dai play a similar game, Europa Universal. Well, Europa Universalis is still kind of. I think this game is I think a step beyond that as far as it goes, because there's as far as I can tell, there's going to be no combat. I may be wrong, but I'm not seeing any actual combat. It looks like it's all pure VN adventure game, at least from what I'm seeing. But I'm not even past chapter 1 of this game, so we shall see. We shall see. Yeah, let's see what happened. Read the report. Workers' Rights Bill. The Workers' Rights Act of 1954, proposed by Alvin Clavin, supported by the Ministers of Health Pascal Benewell, is being prepared for the first draft review. Voices from the labor union showed strong signs of support. A session dedicated to the bill in the Assembly proved contentious. The people that form the backbone of the Swedish economy will finally be fully protected by extensive laws, Katarina Horton said, receiving both cheers and glues. Repeal of the Energy Protection Act. The proposed repeal of the Energy Protection Act of 1932 was put to a vote in the Assembly today, resulting in its defeat, despite strong advocacy from the former faction of the PFJP. Beyond, including within the USB under Alvin Clavin, the majority of the Assembly, led with the USB and NFP, voted against the repeal 179 to 71. Consequently, the Energy Protection Act of 1932 remains in force, maintaining the status quo of foreign ownership restrictions of energy companies in Swordsland. This result concludes the current attempt to modify the foreign ownership regulations, but does not preclude further legislative efforts or any initiative by the executive. Oh, here we go. Time to vote. I'm a sucker for the genre of games. Too bad I haven't got a PC. Well, I don't know about mobile, but this, I mean, this isn't a very high, this isn't a very high requirement sort of game. I mean, it's basically just a VN. Alternatively, you could just tune in whenever I'm streaming the game. I'm not even past chapter 1. It's kind of crazy. Like, I'm having all this fun with this game, and I haven't even completed the first chapter. And I think it's like $20 on Steam. Again, disclaimer, I'm not getting paid by Torpor Games or any of their affiliates. You know how it'd be. But yeah, I'm having a hell of a lot of fun. So, an investigation on the influence of the Young Swords and Red Youth in organizations in the post-assassination unrest has concluded. Both organizations haven't officially organized or called for illegal actions, but several low to mid-level leaders from both have links to insightful actions that led to deaths, injuries, and instability. This allows us to ban the organizations. Oh, shit. You know what that means? So if you haven't been watching any of the streams, the Young Swords are like the nationalist elements of the country, and the Red Youth are the commies. So basically, we can ban the nationalists, we can ban the communists, we can ban both, or we don't ban anybody. For me, it's either I ban them all, or I don't ban anybody at all. Because Lord knows what happens to a country once you side with nationalists over communists. That's a tough call. Because I'm not choosing one or two. If one of you goes, you're all going. So Hitler and his boys can go. Fucking Stalin and his boys can go. But you ain't going out one by one. You're both going out the same door. That seems a little heavy-handed, though. That might cause a lot of unrest. Ban vegans. We haven't gotten to that part yet. We're still in post-World War II Germany. Maybe reconstructionist. If going third, we're left with Republican. I don't know. This is the first time I've played this game. I don't know what these are gonna do. But I'm definitely not just gonna play sides here. If the nationalists and the fucking commies, if I'm gonna ban one group, they're both going. Which means the only choices here for me are ban them all, or don't ban anybody. Generally, I think banning all means I'm becoming more authoritarian, and we are trying to become a more representative republic. I want to believe that the people overall, over time, will begin to stop supporting them, and we don't have to go into such deep authoritarian measures. But it's a political problem, isn't it? Because in an ideal world, that would work out. But would it? Would it really? On the other hand, if we decide to ban both parties, maybe things get better. But again, maybe they don't. It's a hell of a decision. It is a hell of a decision. That's the right option. Go for the interesting one. Alright, so we don't play sides. Alright, I'm gonna go with 4 then. We don't play sides. Officially, we can't label them for anything. We shall monitor them though. We shall definitely keep an eye on them. Goonie regeneration and ecological economic nurturing. The GREEN has been proposed by the Assembly, aiming to encourage a more sustainable approach to industry in Goonie. Section 1 of this act would impose stricter regulations on industrial pollution and waste disposal, particularly in the Goonie region. Businesses not complying with these new standards may face hefty fines, the revenue from which would be invested back into environmental recovery projects. Section 2 proposes to offer tax breaks to businesses that can demonstrate a significant reduction in their environmental impact over time. A small investment fund is created for eco-friendly business practices. Speaking of vegans and the like, it's gonna only put us to 1 dot for government budget though. Let's go for it. Why not? I was walking to my office, since today was the day to edit and make the final changes for the proposal to change the Constitution of Swordland. The Reform Committee finally bore tangible results, and the draft of the changes were about to be presented to me. I walked in the marble corridors of the palace, thinking about the huge decisions I was going to take. Huge. Okay, quite honestly, they're like huge decisions. At the entrance to my office, my secretary, Olivia, greeted me. Good morning, Mr. President. Good morning, Olivia. How are you today, sir? I'm perfectly fine. Good to hear. She paused before taking my coat. It looked like she had something on her mind. Mr. Rain, can you give me a hint about your reform plans? If you ask me, taking away the judge's immunity is long overdue, but it might anger a lot of people in these halls. Nothing's been decided yet. I hope you'll keep me informed. I'll take your coat now. Olivia left to hang up my coat. I entered my office and sat down. Not long after, Peter, Lucian, and Nia arrived. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Mr. President. Good morning. Time to finally get this proposal going. Peter placed the draft in front of me. After your modifications, we will be starting the process. Can we go over each of the points that are in discussion for the draft? Well, apart from the first two sections of decreasing the Supreme Court's authority and limiting the presidential vetoes, nothing else has been agreed on unanimously. We could start talking about Section 3. This is about the impeachment process of the president. Currently, in cases of high treason and breaking the Constitution, the Supreme Court may impeach and try the president. Most reformists want the impeachment to be initiated by the Assembly. They think they do not have the power over potential rogue presidents that would abuse their power. So the Assembly should be able to impeach the president? So basically, not sure if it is correct to chastise the president this much, though. The Assembly should have oversight over the president. What a pussy. Abuse their power. Had banned socks the next day. The Assembly should have oversight over the President. It is the most democratic institution. This law is particularly dangerous for you in this case. We will be going against the old guard, and if we prove to be successful in the Assembly, they will be looking for anything they can declare unconstitutional to tackle you. All they need is the Supreme Court to impeach you. Ah, yes, but impeachment doesn't mean removal from office. Remember, Donald Trump was impeached twice, and nothing fucking happened. Impeachment. Impeach these nuts. Got 'em. What if we don't succeed? The court can have me impeached for this. Maybe reforms are not a great idea after all. We should define a better impeachment process. We could even remove impeachment altogether. Yeah, but we're moving towards a republic, so I don't want to keep things the way they are. I'm kind of leaning towards 3. It needs to be better defined. We should define a more refined impeachment process. Yes, we will be collaboratively working on the specifics. Section 4. This is regarding the appointment of ministers. Currently, the President is free to appoint anyone from the members of the Assembly. Nobody else is involved with the process. There is definitely a demand to involve the Assembly in the process. We could introduce a confidence vote. That was my suggestion as well. I'm sure the reformists would completely support that. The 5th section is about our infamous electoral threshold. Most reformists want to lower the threshold as much as possible. Mr. Richter and his PFJP definitely wants to see change on this topic. They find our 10% threshold to be anti-democratic, which is something I also agree with. Yes, but this is a delicate matter. The party, and I mean not even Albin, wants us to change the threshold. They think that this would destroy our party in the long term. Not wrong. The 10% threshold is what that allowed us to control half the assembly, with that around 1/3 of the majority of the elections. But the high threshold is the reason why Swordish politics has become so isolated. We should definitely work to decrease the threshold for better representation. Do you think it would really hurt the party? This is out of the question. We should definitely work to decrease the threshold for better representation in our democracy. Not a democracy, not yet. Or a republic. I agree. Even after Sol's resignation, we still have 3 parties in the assembly. Even Mr. Kipner's NFP is barely elected. Don't forget that the Communist Party and the Workers' Party of Bludia both had to close to 10% vote in the last election. You would be opening their way into the parliament in the future if you were to decrease the threshold. It is important that you realize this. Of course, that will also mean that the USP might lose its majority in the assembly, sir. We can't allow communists to enter the assembly. We can't allow communists to enter the assembly. We can't just give away our majority like that. I don't like those 2. So basically the top 2. Don't worry. With these reforms, it will be even more popular. If our own democracy is the reason of our downfall, we'll have to accept it. Don't worry. With these reforms, we will be even more popular. I hope it works out, Mr. President. Lucian continued with the next section. Section 6. This is about the presidential decrees. Reformists demand more limitations to the president's executive power. Mr. Richter has demanded them to be completely removed. I have suggested to bring some limitations to decrees regarding the applicability when we keep them. We should try to make sure they will only be used in emergency situations. We could also make it dependent on enabling act from the Assembly. Sure, it would make the whole process longer, but as long as we have a majority, nothing really changes. I don't think presidential decrees need any reforms. We'll work with the reformists to limit the use of decrees. I may need to think a bit longer about this. We'll work with the reformists to limit the use of decrees. Friends will probably demand that we remove them completely, but he forgets that Swordland is a presidential republic. Next one is Section 7, Term Limits. Term limits are necessary. I agree. We can't allow somebody like Saul holding on to a seat for 2 decades again. Hey, if people keep electing one person, that means they really are content. The masses are scared of change. Even Saul knew he had to leave. But we will leave it to the president to decide. Yes, he did. But it took a long time. I agree. People should be able to elect the same person if they want to. I will take my time and seriously consider the options before setting on one. Now, I'll move on to the 8th section. We are reaching the end. It's the question about the immunity of the judges. Well, the anti-old god sentiment is increasing. There are talks that taking away their immunity would give us authority over judiciary. I do not support taking away their powers for yourself, Mr. President. The judiciary must be independent and long-lasting. While I agree that the court members are problematic, this is no way to resolve it. The law is supposed to ensure the judiciary's independence by giving legal protection so they can't be pressured. Well, they need absolute immunity in theory, but look at what really got us. We've got to deal with the most corrupt Chief Justice in the world, with no chance to deal with him.
We should crush the old guards to clear ways for further reforms.
Maybe we shouldn't make the Supreme Court our enemies just yet. They should be able to be impeached. Why do I get to be impeached but not them? We should respect their immunity. checks and balances on all things. They should be able to be impeached. Why do I get to be impeached, but not them? Exactly! But it would be tougher to persuade the judges with this. Miss Edmonds may not want to cooperate with you if they believe you're going to get rid of them afterwards. And the last one is the question about Saul's legacy. Basically, his member of honor law. It gave him some absolute immunity even when he's retired. He is a permanent member of the Assembly as well. But luckily, he really doesn't attend anymore. According to the Constitution, the member of honor not only has legal immunity, but the state also covers most of their expenses as well as providing security at all times. It can only be given to someone by an absolute majority vote in the Assembly and the approval of the President. That's why only Tarquin Sol has that title. He gave it to himself right after his military coup. This law is basically made to save the colonel, and it has symbolic importance for Swordland because of it. We must get rid of the senseless law that protects him. He should be able to face justice for the atrocities that have taken place during his rule. We could keep the title, but take away the immunity clause. That would be enough to hold him accountable for his actions. But why would you want to keep such a title, Mr. President? Regardless of him, I see no problem with having a special title for great heroes. Well, regardless of what Mr. Rain decides, we will need to work together to push this agenda. Let's start working on the draft. After placing the committee's reports and my own notes in front of me, I buried myself in the papers. According to Idle, the President may veto a bill by returning it to the Assembly with a written statement. The articles do not contain any information on how to override a veto. As a consequence, the President has an absolute veto power that cannot be overridden with a supermajority of the Grand Assembly swordsmen. Limit vetoes. According to Article 5 of the Constitution, an amendment that has the support of at least 150 signatures may be proposed at the Grand National Assembly. A two-thirds majority vote in the Grand National Assembly and a simple majority vote in the Supreme Court is required for the amendment. As a consequence, the Supreme Court, which is not part of the legislative branch, has voting rights that give them enormous power in the amendment process. According to Article 17, the President of Swordland is not responsible for the actions performed in the exercise of presidential duties, except in the case of high treason or violation of the Constitution. In such cases, the President may be impeached by the Supreme Court in joint session with an absolute majority of its members. Therefore, the impeachment process only includes the Supreme Court and gives them great power over the executive. Baron. Hello, Baron. Hello. Welcome. Glad to have you here. I am actually about to wrap things up now that we are changing the Constitution. I gotta get up early tomorrow. Got things to do. But this game is incredibly fun and amazing. I don't know if you're a fan of this game or just popping in because you saw it on YouTube, but yeah, the game we're currently playing right now is Suzerain, available on Steam. There's DLC coming out for it in March, so check it out. If you are enjoying watching me play this game, it might be good and fun to play it yourself. Standard disclaimer, I have no association with any game company or development team or anything like that. I am just a humble little hobbyist playing the games that I have fun with and streaming for your entertainment. Political, I'd have to take mine on a walk this weekend. Oh my god, she'll get him. Well, it's 10 a.m. here, and yeah, I'm a fan of this game. Got about 600 hours and 100%. Really? Wow. Really? That's impressive. That is impressive. All right, let's finish this choice here. According to the Constitution, we appoint ministers from elected members of the Assembly. Introduce confidence vote right in line. The president may nominate ministers, which require a confidence vote. Draft an appointment or include the Assembly more in the process. With the Grand National Assembly may dominate a list of minister which the president may appoint. Let's go with the confidence vote. Yes. Holy moly, 600 hours. Some achievements are really, in some situations, are just ludicrous. I can imagine that. I can already see how that might work out. Like the bribe thing and whatnot. You have to put yourself in a certain situation. Like if you just straight up don't talk to people at certain times, you're just missing a whole line of dialogue that would allow you to be bribed. That sort of thing. Sergey is the only person in the game that can't betray you. And if I mean only person, I mean only person. Yeah, Sergey seems to be like a pretty cool guy. Also, apparently the dev, what's his name? When I posted numerous times that I was streaming this game on Twitter, actually popped in and was here. Assuming that's actually the correct person. The name matches. So that was actually pretty cool. At least for a humble little nobody like me, just having fun with my hobby. Go second. Alright. What is the second? According to Article 50, a political party needs a minimum of 10% total national vote and wins seats in the Grand National Assembly. Votes of the parties who pass the threshold are redistributed proportionally. Basically, yeah, money is distributed. Currently holds the lead would be the main beneficiary. Decreasing threshold may allow Workers' Party of Bludian to be allowed in the next election. All right, we'll decrease it to 8%. There you go. 8%. 8%. Torpor is a small, highly active studio. I recommend 8%. Okay, yeah. So we're kind of thinking the same thing. Throw them some scraps. I don't like the communists, though. Screw them. According to Article 18 and 51, the President is able to issue decrees on political, social, and economic issues that would carry the force of law, that could not contradict the Constitution and are subject to judicial review. Therefore, the President may issue decrees in many subjects without going through the Grand National Assembly. However, the Assembly may pass legislation on the same subjects to override presidential decrees. We may include the Assembly in the process by requiring an enabling act from the Assembly to be able to enact decrees or remove them completely, making the Assembly the sole lawmaking authority. Decrees require an enabling act. Remove presidential decrees. Do not change. So basically removing presidential decrees. I'm leaning towards enabling act. Yeah, edicts are good. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Like, be able to do edicts, but let's have people vote. All right, let's go with that. According to the Constitution, the President shall be elected to serve for 4 years. However, there is no mention of a term limit allowing one individual to be able to run, be elected, and serve as a president without limits. Well, I was elected as a reformer, not as a king. So, I kind of want to go full George Washington here. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna introduce term limits. You can't stop me, Jojo. The temptation is there, but if we're gonna change things, we have to change things. Well, Washington decided to left turns, didn't put in limits. The stream 4 or 6. Alright, we're putting in limits. The stream 4 or 6? What do you mean? What stream number is this? I don't know. I need to actually start making playlists for games that I actually play. Make it easy on the people. President Squid caught sniffing blondes and fall downstairs with his ice cream. Hey, 100 million scoops, all right? And 20 million votes. Totally legit. Totally legit. The Constitution gives the justices of the Supreme Court absolute immunity before the law and describes no procedure of impeachment, making them untouchable by other branches of the government. You may describe an impeachment procedure by giving the Grand National Assembly the right to propose an impeachment of a justice on legal grounds of unconstitutional behavior. Impeach their asses. As he formed the SSP, ACP, I don't know what those are. I can't remember. Article 99 of the Constitution defines the member of honor title and the rights their members may exercise. A member of honor has absolute immunity and is considered to be a permanent member of the Grand National Assembly. They are given control of their own personal security team, provided by the state's presidential guards. A member is also eligible to live in a special private residence provided by the state for free. The only person who holds the title is Tarkeen Soul. Abolish. Every president becomes a member of honor after their service. Remove the immunity. Do not change. I remember this dialogue choice. I'm leaning towards removing the immunity, but allowing them to keep the title. Like, you can have the title, you just can't be fucking immune. I don't like that. Have I increased funding for security? I don't remember. That was like the second or third stream, I think. I can't remember that far back. This is just the first draft anyway. Alright, so we're gonna go Member of Honor. Am I sure about my decisions? Yes. After I made the final changes for the proposal, I showed it to my team. They read the changes and discussed it amongst themselves. Lucian spoke afterwards. Looks like the amendments are ready to be proposed. But I have to say this too. The new electoral threshold will be really difficult for the party to accept. Our guys are not fond of that idea. That's true. It will be tough to get all of their support. Some of our members may try to openly fight against this. We'll figure it out. We will all do our best to make it work, sir. Any other comments before we proceed? I will say that I do not agree with the new law that gives the Assembly the power to impeach the judges of the Supreme Court. I am also against the Chief Justice and his obstructionist behavior, but even if we get rid of all of them, the new judges will be less independent with this law. They will be scared to go against the administration when it's needed. They need their protection to do their job. Otherwise, the new ones will be pawns, just like Soul's old gods. Well, I mean, if we're gonna go down that route, lady, Nia, you're arguing which flavor of shit sandwich you want to eat. Currently, I'm not liking the one that I'm seeing, so we need to try and figure out something better. If you have a better suggestion, please do. But don't just say, well, the other one's not good, I don't want to eat that one. Propose a better one. Shit or get off the pot, Nia. But it's more important that we get rid of the old guards, Miss Morgan. After the obstacles are gone, we can strive to make it better. However, he turned to me. You have to be careful, Anton. I'm sure you'll be fine, but with all that's happening out there, we'll need to prepare against these threats, one way or the other. The Constitution hasn't changed yet. We'll prepare until then. Well, I think we can proceed now. I will personally work on the rewarding of this proposal with my hand-picked legal experts. With Miss Morgana's reputation as the most experienced attorney, this proposal will be bulletproof. Chief Justice also will have a hard time convincing others to oppose it. In the meantime, you must introduce this proposal to our party. You will need to get them back to us if we want it to pass the Assembly. So, I advise you to first talk with the leaders of both conservative
and reformist wings of the party.
As far as I'm aware, Mr. Clavin supports the reforms already. Miss Tory will be the real problem. She became the real heavyweight after we left for the executive. Any advice in dealing with them?
As Mr. Vectron said, Mr. Clavin will probably be easier to persuade. We need to unite the party under this, so his support is vital. Miss Gloria will be tougher to break. The problem is that she is capable of turning the moderates and the conservatives against us. As much as I don't want to say this, if she makes demands to change the proposal, you may need to give in.
Understood.
Wish you good luck with the party, sir. I think we can end the meeting here.
We all shook hands, and they left the room. All right. Well, it's been a solid 90-minute stream. A little bit longer than I usually do. But me saying that, you know what that means. Yeah, I got things to take care of today, so probably just gonna wrap things up here. Might shit post on the old Discord and on Twitter for a little while before I go to bed, but I got a lot of things to do today, tomorrow, the next week, the next month, the rest of my life. But I will make sure that continuing to stream this game is going to be one of them. Next stream is on Thursday. Possibly tomorrow. See, tomorrow is well, today. Let's assume I go to sleep right now. Within the next 24 hours. Because I'm still trying to wrap my head around the fact that so many of the viewers I get are from all over the world. So when I say tomorrow, I'm talking Pacific Standard Time. So for me, it's 2 a.m. on the West Coast of the United States. So if I say tomorrow, I'm thinking basically, well, from this point, I'm thinking like Sunday or Sunday night or Monday morning. It's very weird. I'm still trying to get used to it, but I am definitely enjoying this game. 600 hours, good God, that is some amazing time into the game. It's got to be a great game. Outside of the achievement farm. All right, be honest with me. All right. Outside of the achievement farming, how many hours would you say the game is actually worth playing? All right. So take out, farming some weird, bizarre, like you have to get like 500,000 dead people in a corner of the map to unlock an achievement that like 0.05% of the player base have. Minus the achievement farming, how many hours would you say the game actually has? Well, I like exploring, so yeah. 6 runs. How many hours? So 6 runs at how many hours? -8 runs. -8 runs. 6 runs and -8 runs. So uninstall the game. I see. Okay. Well, it depends on how fast you read. Well, I'm streaming the game, so um, yeah, the voice acting is kind of slowing it down. I probably actually could have probably been a lot further in the game, but I'm streaming and doing the whole reading thing. All right, all joking aside, 50 to 100 hours, definitely solid. Really? Really? Okay. 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 And if we divide that by, let's see, you said what, 6 runs? 100 hours divided by 6 is 116. So about 20 hours of gameplay if you're only going to play the game one time through, more or less. Round that down to 10 just to be a cynical asshole who just kind of runs through the game as fast as you can without doing anything. 10-hour gameplay for a game that's currently available for what, $20 on Steam. Holy shit! That's a good deal. You'll be one of these assholes that spends like $80 on the new 10-hour experience from the big name studio. Oh yeah, it's only got like 8 to 10 hours of gameplay, but I spent $90 on it, plus the exclusive DLC costumes. I think I can say for sure what the better value is. I'm not trying to throw shade at any particular. All right. Oh God, I need to get that cough checked out. If you want to accept, I mean, people in the community didn't believe me about some really hidden shit. My processes crashed it, and Reddit was burning. Really? Really? Now you're making me curious. Don't spoil anything for me. I want to find it for myself. Don't spoil it for me. Really? Well, you know what? You know what? You know what? You just... You just earned yourself a wrench. There you go. There you go. You get a wrench. Maxim got a wrench too, but didn't notice. This is why we can't have nice things, Maxim. That's why we can't have nice things. But yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate the dev popping in a couple of times and saying hello. Yeah, this has been Suzerain. Sorry, I'm gonna go into the outro here. I'm wrapping it up. But you guys are awesome. Thanks for tuning in. But yeah, for everybody else who either tuned in during the live, who are lurking, people who are checking out the VODs later, this is Suzerain. Pretty damn fun game, actually. I'm having a ton of fun with it. It is available on Steam, apparently, according to our newly minted moderator. It is available on mobile as well. If you're enjoying watching me have fun with this game, definitely give it a try yourself. It's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying the hell of it. I don't know what else I can. I don't have a better a better endorsement of it than the fact that I play it and I'm enjoying the hell of it. Because if you've been a fan of the channel for a time, you know I don't take endorsements and I don't hype shit that I'm not into. So yeah, If you're a fan of political intrigue, adventure, all that crazy stuff, definitely give it a try. We got some DLC apparently coming out in March. The end of March. March 25th, I believe, is what's stated on Steam. And we'll see how that's going to go. Because apparently the DLC is you get to play as one of the king of Rizia, which means that where the heck is Rizia? I'm trying to remember where Rizia is. Isn't it? Where is Rizia? It's down this way, isn't it? South of Lesbia. Oh, okay. Oh wait, there we go. So yeah, Lesbia. So Swordland, this is us. And Rizia is way the heck down here. This is gonna be the new DLC. We're gonna have some kind of royal monarchy stuff, intrigue going on down here. That's far from where we are. We're up here in Swordland. Yeah. Looking forward to it. I'm glad. I can't remember. I wish I could remember when I picked this game up, but I am definitely enjoying the hell out of it. But yeah. I think that's about all I have to say about it. Final thoughts, anybody? Anything you'd like to say to the chat before we get the heck out of here and I wrap it up? Well, I use the Sunday to watch the other streams to catch up. Okay. I'll have a nice sleep. I will indeed. Okay. Eat some Wendy's. It's 2 a.m. my time. Wendy's just closed. I think the only thing open is right now is Jack in the Box, and even if I felt like going to get Jack in the Box right now, there's a 50% chance that I'm gonna roll up and they're gonna be like, "Oh, our our computers are down for maintenance." Sure they are. I believe you. All right. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks everyone for checking out the VODs later. Support the dev. Support the team. I am not affiliated with them in any way, but definitely will tell everyone to support them. And you know what time it is. I'll see y'all out there. And take her easy. Whatever you do.